Last week, we toured one of the grandest estates in Minnesota, if not in the United States of America. With its 8 bedrooms, over 25,000 square feet of interior spaces, and 655 feet of prime lake frontage, all with a jaw-dropping $55 million price tag. This is the most expensive home in the state of Minnesota, and hands down one of the craziest tours we've ever done. For part 1, we covered the arrival and top 2 floors of the estate. And now in part 2, we're taking you further into the property to show you the rest. We're going to see the lake, the sprawling 8-acre grounds, the entertainment level, and even more surprises packed into every corner. Trust me, you don't want to miss the rest, so let's jump right in. All right, everyone, welcome back to the second part of the Lake Point Estate Tour. On our last week's episode, we covered the main floor and the top floor, and now we're on the lake level and we're gonna work our way back to the house. And given that we're covering the entertainment aspect of this property and the surrounding area, I figured it is more appropriate that I get out of my suit, wear something comfortable, and really embrace the activities and the surroundings here. Now, welcome to the lake. This property comes with 2 different docks. This is the main one where we have 2 specific covered spots for your future boats. This is where you will install your boat lifts or jet ski lifts, and this deck is actually quite spacious. In fact, we're gonna go backwards for a second. Armand is walking a little slowly. I wanna make sure he's safe, and then you can go this way, and there's a nice seating area at the end. People are on their boats, on their jet skis, having a good time. It is nice to be on the lake level. Now, I want to quickly turn back to the other side. You can see the additional dock areas here, and over there, we have the boathouse. Here's what's so special about this structure. It was grandfathered in, just like the lake porch that we're gonna tour later. And why is that so important? Well, at the moment, they do not allow you to build structures like this close to the lake, or in this case, literally floating above the lake. So it's nice that this right was grandfathered in, and this older structure was remodeled by the homeowner here to match the aesthetic of the new main home. You can see the limestone facade, accordion glass doors, extended roof eaves with the same gutter system. It is around 490 square feet, and I want to take everybody inside. This is a really fun space. You have tile floors, wood class ceiling. Even the interior aesthetic here matches the main estate. Small seating area, dining area, built-ins on the back, your TV, great spot for you to hang out or possibly convert it into an office. And my favorite detail here are these accordion glass doors. I always butcher opening these up, so let me give it a shot. Boom. But it's important for you to see when these glass doors are open. And there you go. Now the lake truly comes into the space, and this is one of many moments in outdoor spaces that we're gonna see throughout this tour, especially on the backyard and the lower level, and we got so much more to see. One thing that immediately stood out to me about this property is the site work.
Yes.
Not only you have 8 acres, you have a lot of elevations, you have the lake, a couple of sections that are quite flat, but then I see retaining walls, the bridge system right at the entry. So I'm assuming prior to the build of the estate itself, this site work was the major part of this construction.
We worked with civil engineers, landscape architects, to really map out this entire property. The client really wanted to have the home as close to the lake as possible, but also have a really grand entrance. When you come down that driveway, flanked by the 2 guest house, coming over the bridge and the pond on the left, the home kind of reveals itself to you as you come up the driveway.
Nobody would dispute that this is the premier site that exists on all of Lake Minnetonka and thus in all of Minnesota. So you're really sitting on about a $22 million piece of land based on real comparable data to start with.
Now welcome to the backyard. The grounds of this property is what's so special. Not only you have 8 acres and 655 feet of frontage, you have all these different zones, areas, and with site work, they've elevated certain sections and created these awesome outdoor spaces. This is technically the main section of the backyard, green grass, beautiful stonework that frames these zones, and I mean, what a place for you to hang out with your friends and family, throw big parties, do charity events, and the level that they're maintaining this property is out of this world. Everything is in spectacular condition. Yes, I get it, it's a brand new home, but the grounds, the trees, all the landscaping, everything looks tip top. Now, I want to quickly pivot to this side to talk about the exterior architecture. First off, I love the slate roof. It just gives so much character to the space. Then you pair that up with fieldstone, and fieldstone within in itself has so much color variation. And then bringing the limestone element is where the look of this house really changed, because they use the limestone for the headers and around the windows to give this distinct look. And then you add these steep roof lines that taper on the edges, and you end up with a traditional estate like this with so much modern functionality and qualities. You have sliding glass doors, and they've spent over $4 million just on the window and doors alone, which is insane. And then you have these white steps taking you up to this elevated patio. Now, I really like this space because it opens up the entire great room to the outdoors. We have a gorgeous water feature here, and the way it's designed and the edges are nicely curved, so it gives this water feature a very smooth aesthetic. And within the water feature, we also have these little fire features, and they accomplish this opening by having those motorized sliding glass doors that pocket into the walls. They also have a motorized screen for that opening as well. Now, I want to quickly turn back to this side and acknowledge the massive American flag. Between the lake, the grounds, and the grandeur of this estate, all of these qualities coming together, and you tie that with an American flag, you put that America stamp on top, and this flag looks so awesome on the drone shots, on the far shots, and as you can see, the scale is quite insane. Now, I want to talk about Minnesota for a second. It is known as Land of 10,000 Lakes, and to be very accurate, it has 11,842 lakes. And for a lake to be considered in that number, it has to be 10 acres or bigger. So it's insane that they have that many lakes in the state. And I have to say, I believe I mentioned it on the first video, I love lakes. I think living lakefront is so fun. And lakes are a little bit easier to live next to rather than a sea or an ocean, because salt water can be very abusive on properties versus lakes. It tends to be easier to maintain your property, and having water access at all times where you have your boats, jet skis ready to go at any given time is so fun. So I hope one day I get a chance to live lakefront, and the scenery here, people enjoying the boats, I mean, it is fun to be here. Now, next up, we're gonna see the lower level where we have the pool area and the remaining part of the home. But first, before we get there, I wanna show you the lake porch. So this is the second structure that was grandfathered in from the 1800s. Wild to think that this structure lasted all these years, and as they were developing the main home, they've also upgraded this one. It is a really cool space, I believe around 290 square feet. So you don't get a whole lot, but having a space at this elevation right next to the lake is so fun. I would definitely make this an office. It would be the coolest office ever. You have casement windows, you're floating above the lake, so quiet and peaceful, nicely set back from the house. It's a really nice space for you to cherish, enjoy, and it is also a subtle reminder of this property's past, history, pedigree. And now I want to take you to the pool area. We flew in from Los Angeles yesterday to shoot this property, and tomorrow we're leaving. And let me tell you, I do not want to go back to Los Angeles. This place is so relaxing, so peaceful. Surrounding landscape, the grounds are just so inviting, and I want to spend time outdoors as much as possible. That's why I also made the decision to get out of my suit, wear something comfortable, and really embrace the nurturing energy of this property. Look at my backdrop, all these mature trees, hearing the sound of the lake, and I just want to walk around. Now, we have the lower section of the grounds here, and if you go all the way to the lake level, there's a really nice outdoor seating area with a fire pit on that side. But I want to quickly pivot this way to show you the left wing of the property and the separate structure that we have on this side, which is the pool house. Same limestone is used here for the patio. You have some outdoor seating areas, and right in the center, we have this massive pool, simple white plaster, and there's also a diving board, and it's definitely a good sized pool with a motorized pool cover. And then you can see all these French doors, sliding glass doors, opening up from the lower level to this patio, so you can connect all the entertainment spaces together. House also looks incredible from this angle, whether it's the field stone, all these roof kick-out sections for casement windows, and we can see some of the rooms that we toured on the previous episode. That's the junior primary bedroom with that massive picture window. And I cannot wait to show you some of the amenities and spaces that we have on this level. It is mind-boggling. And lastly, I want to quickly turn this way to show you the pool house with vaulted ceilings, sliding glass doors opening up. In fact, I'll meet you guys in there. This is such a fun space between the vaulted ceilings, the ceiling height, all these sliding glass doors, and how it connects to the outdoors. It is a voluminous structure, gets great light, and you have so many different areas and sections for you to enjoy. Right in the center, oversized dining area, massive gas fireplace with your TV, and just imagine having everything just open. People are enjoying the pool, walking in and out, seating over here, enjoying these lake views. It's a fun space. It really complements the home. And let me tell you, when you have this much square footage and considering how many people you can accommodate in this house or the parties you can throw, you're gonna need an interactive space like this where it's close to the pool, but easy, laid back, easy to hang out in. There's also a full kitchen here with bar seating, induction cooktop on the back, and they even have a little service kitchen all the way at the back. Again, super fun space, and I know I kept talking about the sliding glass doors. In fact, I'm gonna quickly open it up to show you the access that you get. There you go. Your pool, your estate, and you walk right out. Now next, let's go see the lower level. People always ask how I do my research before shoots. And honestly, it's a huge part of what we do. Learning about the architecture, the designers, and the story behind every property is essential to making sure we do justice not only to everyone's work, but the home itself. Back in the day, I would dig up everything on my own, create a long note stock, and then spend an entire day organizing material, which was a lot. That's why I've been using Opera's built-in AI tool, Aria. The features make my workflow not only smoother, but faster too. I simply use Aria's command line shortcut, Command/ or Control/, and Aria can help with my tab organization. It can close all of my wiki tabs, pin, create bookmarks, or group all of my YouTube tabs. And check this out, Aria grouped my tabs into these tab islands. I can let Aria group my tabs automatically, or I can manually organize by topic or theme. And best of all, I can simply just expand and collapse them as needed. I can also manually group my tabs by theme or project. That's perfect for me since I usually have dozens open when researching property details and need additional information. I personally love the split screen mode since it lets me open 2 documents or pages in the same browser, so I don't need multiple monitors or have to keep switching between windows. So if you want to see how Opera browser can make your life easier, click the link in the description to download it. Big thanks to Opera for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to our tour. Now this has been an interesting tour, and I've tried my best with Armand to show you every single space or floor in this house, but given that we're dealing with this massive footprint and so many interesting spaces to see, I kept some of the parts of this tour very short and to the point and skipped some of the details. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from, because I want to do my best to showcase the entire experience, and we have so many other rooms and spaces to see. And now welcome to the lower level. Now here I'm going to do the same. Instead of going into too many details, I'm going to show some of the spaces and move on to the next. In fact, follow me this way. The first room or the section we're gonna tour is the spa, and it starts here. We have steel case doors going into the space. You can see the limestone finish, arch openings. We have dressing rooms, bathrooms, and then as you go in to my right, we have a sauna. Next to that is a steam room, and then behind that, to my right, we have a spacious massage room with built-in cabinetry and a gorgeous onyx back wall. Next to that, we have a salt room. Not only we have a salt room, they also have loose salt on the ground with this built-in section that curves up to the ceiling, and of course, salt walls with a TV over here. And this is a room that will be good for your skin, for your respiratory health, and you just sit here and relax. This is an interesting touch. Now, Armand, why don't we go backwards? Because I want to talk about the gym for a second. Definitely a good sized space, looks into the salt room, and we have weights, cross cable machine, Stairmaster, treadmill, stationary bike, kind of everything you need, and it also opens back up to the landing. Now, Armand, let's go backwards. I also want to keep walking rather than jumping left and right because it may eventually get confusing. Now, let's come over here to this section. We have a powder room, beautiful marble fabrication. The vanity looks absolutely stunning. And then going this way, we have this transitional hallway. Now to my right, we have another service kitchen, storage area, and the door at the end opens somewhere really fun. Well, let me rephrase. It is a fun space for me. Welcome to the lower level garage. You can easily park 10 plus cars here, Cadillac Escalade on the back. This is a Lamborghini Aventador S Roadster. Looks stunning. I love the aggressive stance, but also this car is black, and as you get close to the car, the color shifts a little bit. It has got to be the protection layer on top. It looks more dark and rich burgundy. And then we have these light boxes throughout the garage, which give this space a more modern contemporary feel. And just to remind everybody again, this is the section of the driveway that takes you down to the lower level of the home. So this is a separate space. We still have the 6-car garage on the main level. And over here, we have 2 Lamborghini Uruses. They also park their boat here, and you still have so much more space. It's another cool room. And I want to now take everybody back to the landing because we got more to see. Now, the next space I want to show you is the movie theater, which is expected from a home this scale. Double doors open up, 2-tier seating, 10 leather recliner chairs, and I like the wall paneling here with insulation. Then you have your wood panel ceiling with built-in speakers, recessing lights, wall sconces to give you that movie theater effect, massive screen, and we have the projector on the other side. And recently we launched our documentary that we've been working on for the past 9 months. And this movie theater immediately made me think of that because it is an hour, 53-minute long video of our journey traveling from Spain to New York over 11 days. And on that voyage, not only we traveled on a container ship, and for the entire ship, we got a chance to hang out with the crew, work side by side with them. It is by far the most complicated, intricate project we've ever put together. If you haven't watched it already, I highly recommend give that video a chance, and I promise if you watch 5 minutes of it, you'll end up watching the entire thing because it is fascinating. The world of global shipping, crossing the Atlantic Ocean, and understanding how these vessels work. It blew our mind away, and that's why we ended up making a documentary that's so intricate with so much passion. Please check it out. Great movie theater, and let's continue our tour. Next up, we have a cave. Yes, you heard me correctly. Steel glass doors open up and we go into the wine cave. This is the section of the property where later into the build homeowner decided to place this structure. These are all concrete walls to hold the weight of the earth, given that we're on the subterranean level. But on the interior, they decorated them in a way to make it look like rocks, so it gives you that primal cave-like feeling. LED lighting is nicely recessed in around the staircase and the handrails. And look at the reveal. This is the wine cave. You have seating area. Again, floors are nicely elevated with LED lighting. Look at the ceiling design here with all these brick tiles. And then in the center, we have an upside down tree. That is your light fixture with leaves as crystals. you'll also have these fake candles. They're electronic candles. And Armand, follow me this way. We have this glass enclosed section here, and this is your second wine cellar with wine fridges. The entire room is temperature controlled, and then there's a secret door here that gives you access back to the main level.
This home the foundation was in, the entire home was framed up. Our client walked through another home that we had built for a client, and he saw this amazing wine cave in this house. And he said, why don't I have that in my plans? I need to have that. So in the middle of the project, we're all framed up, 30,000+ square foot home is framed up, and we have to find out how to get a wine cave in the basement.
Essentially, you retrofitted a wine cave in the middle of construction.
In the middle of construction.
Yeah, and keep in mind, to everyone watching, that's subterranean. It's not on surface where you can easily frame up and pour a foundation and call it a day and just extend the house. You had to essentially dig up what you've compacted to put the motor cord in the first place while everything else was happening, and everything else had to keep going. Off of the entry of the lower level, we have this gorgeous pool table with high top seating. Again, all opens up to your backyard. We have regular doors, picture windows, a cozy seating area here with a massive TV. And then before we check out the bar, let's quickly look at the cigar lounge. We've seen this veneer paneling throughout the home. It's all burr walnut, and it just, again, gives that yacht aesthetic. You have your poker table, TV, built-ins, fridges, and you have a humidor on this side. It's a nice cozy space where you can close the doors and be a little bit more intimate and enjoy this level. Now it gets better. Right on the other side, we have this insane bar. And I'm saying insane because what it took to fabricate and build this piece, the amount of time they spent here to make all the decisions and put all these intricate details together, my hat's off again to the development team. I mean, where do I begin? The onyx countertops that are backlit, the reader details up front, how they've incorporated bronze all around the edge, on the bottom, your bar stools, and above us we have the light fixture that follows the perimeter of the bar. So all these details had to be aligned so perfectly. And Armand, can we get a close-up? The veneer detail within the cabinetry, how they incorporated the walnut, these custom handles, you have your fridges, ice makers, and Armand, let's get another close-up. The fixture here is so cool. I mean, it looks like a piece of art attached to this countertop. This bar, without a doubt, is one of the coolest spaces in this home. Now, next up, you can see your bowling shoes and your bowling balls. We're gonna talk about the bowling alley in a second. Armand, follow me this way. Welcome to the simulation room where we have a projector above, and this is where you can play all kinds of games, golf, baseball, American football, and you can also play games that involve fake guns. It's just a nice creative space. You have bar seating throughout, 2 more TVs, and even here, the paneling on the ceiling, the walls, the treatment, the stonework around the bars with waterfall edges. The amount of time and effort put into this house, that's why I feel the need to cover every single one of these spaces. Now follow me back. Armand, can we take everybody to the bowling alley? You have 2 lanes, seating area, and this is definitely a space that we will enjoy later this evening. I love that even on this level, they brought some of the fieldstone, limestone, and found different ways to incorporate these important, significant materials throughout the interior as well. And I know throughout the tour, we talked about how this is a legacy estate and one-of-a-kind offering, but I really mean that because the amount of effort, resources, and time that they put into this property to get all of these details right, to make sure that the level of intentionality is high throughout the entire home. And it certainly lives up to that. I mean, you have your full-blown bowling alley within the lower level. And what better way to show off this bowling alley than to get a few rounds in? And if you get tired of bowling, there's always other great ways to have some friendly competition with your friends or with your team. As soon as you go down to the lower level, it's like you leave your jacket behind. Alright, we're gonna do a tournament. You roll up your sleeves. Everybody gets 10 throws. And you're gonna have a good time.
Wait, all 10 at once or one by one?
That's what it represents to me. And it's a very fun space, and I have to applaud all of you for taking the identity of this home, still reflecting it on the lower level, but somehow that grandeur, the exquisite materials, finishes, the palette, it still comes across extremely warm, inviting, and almost with an attitude of just have fun.
The lower level has everything, right? From the bowling alley to the Himalayan salt cave and everything you can imagine. The wine cave, the golf simulator, the cigar room. It's really an entertainer's dream.
Fun, summer party, I mean, that's what it's about. From the arcades to the bowling to the golf sim. You can just see the party happening here, coming off the lake after a day of skiing out on the water, and everybody's gathering here. It's meant to be casual and meant to be lived in and enjoyed. Despite it being built at this constructive level, there's an informal feeling that the lower level presents. You know, really makes you want to have a cocktail, frankly.
And that's something that makes this estate so unique. It's elegant and grand, but still gives the opportunity to let loose. Have fun with friends and family, and appreciate and enjoy what this home has to offer. Now it gets better. We have all kinds of games here. Foosball, shuffleboard, and again, all these French doors open up to the pool area. And at the end, we have another few games and this basketball game. Armand, who's behind the camera, loves basketball. I used to play basketball, so it may get competitive. We'll probably have a little tournament tonight. And Armand, I'm just gonna give it a shot, throw some few balls, see what happens. You get a good competition ahead of you, Armand.
Seems like you're gonna win.
We'll see, we'll see. Let's keep going. I believe you have a powder room here and another game room with 4 TVs. And this is where you can play a PlayStation console game, hang out with kids, close the doors, just have a good time. And I would love to say that that's it for this estate, but we got one more section to see. You and your dad and your brother probably had the utmost closest connection to the homeowner, who unfortunately has recently passed,
Yes.
that wanted to build this home, this ambitious dream. So I know that's a very special relationship when you're helping someone build their dream home. If we had the opportunity to have him standing right across from me to speak his truth, his feelings about this home, what he wanted to accomplish here, what would he say?
Yeah, that's a really good question. He was a very worldly guy, traveled all over the place. He was really passionate about design, had homes in other places. And I know that if he was here today, he would be extremely proud of this house. You know, it came together, and I'm getting a little emotional, but it came together, I think, just exactly how we wanted it.
Well, the homeowner was one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the history of Minnesota. And I think anybody who worked on this home would testify to the idea that its owner thought big, dreamt big, and every aspect, every detail in this home is a reflection of that.
Love building this home for him. My father actually went to high school with him. So it was, we looked at lots with him for about 4 or 5 years before he finally settled on this one. And it was really cool to see over the course of 7 years his dream come to fruition. And I wish he was still here to see it.
I think sometimes at night, like I've sat out on the steps after we've kind of closed up and had a glass of wine, and you're kind of looking off into the sunset, and it's like, it just gives you a chill that somebody thought this highly of Minnesota to create this property, which will never be replicated again in the history of Minnesota. You just understand the gravity, how special that is.
I don't think people move here because they come and see this lake and go, I want to live this lakefront life. Yes, sure, of course, that's a drawing factor, but they go, I want to be around these nice people. I want to be in a community where I don't lock my doors and I don't have a fence. I enjoy seeing my neighbor, and I really mean it. Like this property, that's the first thing I recognized. I said, they're probably friends with that family that's next door.
They are, and we built that home too. So.
That's what I learned as well.
Minnesotans are very welcoming, they're very accepting, and our entire culture in Minnesota is set up around community. I married an Australian who I met out at Boston College and convinced into moving to Minnesota, which is maybe my greatest sale to date. But if you asked her, I mean, she would say the same thing. She would say Minnesota's her home now. I mean, Melbourne, Australia is always going to be her home, but Minnesota is definitely, she would call home.
It is just a wonderful place to live and raise a family. And I'm proud of the fact I've lived here in my entire life, and I love raising my family here, and it's a wonderful place to live.
You and your family have been building over 47 years.
Yeah.
That's as good as an experience as it gets, you know, when it comes to understanding the community and what this place represents. So thank you for sparing the time talking to us.
It was really fun. We are so proud to have built this home, and we're excited for you to show it to the world.
Now we're back at the lake level, and this is the second pier, and I want to use this opportunity to summarize my thoughts on this property. Prior to this trip, I've never been to Minnesota, so I didn't know what to expect, but when I saw the listing photos, the property, its scale, the grandeur, the fit and finish, I was intrigued. And I'm so glad that we made the trip to come out here to see this home in person and share it with all of you. And now that I'm here, now that I got a chance to see the lake, the surrounding landscape, and understood what the homeowner wanted to do with this estate, it all makes sense. It's a proper legacy home, and the amount of care, love, attention that's put into this property over the 7-year span that it took to develop and build is all very apparent. I feel honored that we got a chance to showcase something this special to all of you. And honestly, it's been so fun spending time here at Lake Minnetonka, enjoying the peace, the tranquility, the outdoors, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And with all that said, now let's see this incredible estate at dusk. All right, everyone, that's it for the tour. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you also enjoyed the first episode. Given that this property is so massive, the scale, we decided to break this tour into 2 pieces and create 2 different episodes to cover the entire property, show you the grounds, the spaces, areas, and the architectural details. This was a first for us. We've never broken a tour like this into 2 pieces. So let us know what you think, and if you want us to repeat this format in the future. We also have our Nuare candle here, Tangerine Vetiver. In fact, we recently sold out our first batch, and we also released our second batch, so it is available on nuarehome.com. We would appreciate your support. If you've tried our candle already, let us know what you think in the comments below. We are so stoked about this launch and the fact that we have our own product. Now, lastly, I want to give big thanks to the listing agents, John C. Adams and John F. Adams, for making this tour possible. coming to Minnesota, touring Lake Point Estate, and sharing this experience with all of you have been very special. And you can find more information about this property in the description of this video. Make sure to check it out. And with that, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.